All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard. It's time for the Thanksgiving week edition of NFL Pregame Party. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere. It's good to see you. And as usual, I've got my regular crew alongside, starting with Knock. How you doing this morning, man?
Oh, doing great. Went to the gym, got a little workout in, and then came back here to get ready for this.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Very good. I like to hear you going to the gym. That's kick-ass. All right. And a guy that's going to be in the gym pretty soon when he gets down to his ideal weight.
You want to get closer to it, yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Got talked into getting rid of my cable connection, my internet for fiber Friday.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 gig up and down, and I'm like, okay, fine. It's like $20 less than I'm paying now, and it's faster.
What a bummer, huh?
Man, they had to really pull your leg on that one, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Gee whiz, man. I'm you know, Rhonda initially got me a 1 gig, but I'm only running 600 megabytes.
Oh God.
Well, what I'm saying, I poor Knock. He's in the land of bad internet, but
I mean, it's yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's generally okay, but
yeah,
there's a lot of. I'm far enough from the router, but it's not that great for me.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
The internet itself is actually pretty good.
Well, Thanksgiving week, we've got a lot going on. It's coming down to crunch time for the NCAA. That's for sure. Knox says he's got a huge report for us on that. And we're going to be talking about our traditions on Thanksgiving at our own homes and stuff like that. And we got a lot of games to cover because, my God, they even got a Black Friday game this week, right?
A lot of NCAA games as well.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff coming up. Okay, so let's get started with the Knoxter's College Report. What's going on, man?
Yeah. Gonna have to cover quite a bit here.
Hang on one second. Before we start, let's go ahead and recognize the chat. My man Tim was the first one in, and he's all over the place. Let's see. He says it's International Men's Day today and the World Toilet Day too. And he says, Jim, that's a gym. Oh, a gym. Yeah. One of those.
Oh, guy.
Okay.
Guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, go, man. Go ahead.
All right. So we'll start with the Friday night. UTSA is there's 3 teams in the UTSA in the Conference USA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, AAC. The AAC, the American Athletics Conference, that are undefeated in conference play. They're 7-0. They're all 3 are 7-0. SMU, UTSA, and Tulane. Good old Tulane.
Go
UTSA,
Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane and UTSA play each other next week.
Ooh.
SMU plays Navy, so if they win that one, then if SMU wins, they're in. Whoever the winner is of UTSA and Tulane is in. That's gonna be fun.
That'll work.
Colorado got smashed by Washington State. I didn't really watch this game. I know Joe had asked me if I'd gotten a highlight from it I did not.
Apparently,
I did not watch this game.
Sanders kid. What I never remember his first name, but Deion Sanders kid that's playing
Shadir Sanders.
He had a ball tipped back to him, and he threw it when he got it back to him and threw an interception. I'm like, oh wow, why not just knock it down?
The second half of the season has definitely been disappointing. This was like they had to win this game in order to get to stay on track to get on track for a bowl game, but they did not get it. So their best record would be 5-7, and maybe a chance if not enough teams get 6-6. But I don't know what the criteria is for a 5-17 to get it after if there's still slots available. So okay. Real quickly, Georgia beat up Tennessee. Ohio State beat up Minnesota. Michigan had a bit of a scare against Maryland. Unfortunately, Maryland had the ball on the 1, and Tua's little brother tried to throw a pass and didn't get very far. It was like 10 yards away from the receiver. So that was intentional grounding while he was in the end zone. So that was a safety, and that pretty much cost him a lot of time. And then
that was it. Yeah.
The biggest news of the day was Florida State. This is a huge bummer.
Yes.
On a run, Jordan Travis got hip tackled, and you could see. I didn't even want to play the clip for it, but it's pretty gruesome. I saw immediately his foot was at an odd angle, and he's gone for the season. Luckily, they were playing, Northern Alabama, so they were down 13-0, but they came back.
The way that leg was flopping, I was thinking it's maybe a career ender.
Really?
Let's
hope not.
It was like he lifted it up. It was like at an angle like that.
With today's medicine, man,
he might be able to, but
Aaron Rodgers might be back. You never know, but
right, that is the thing.
So that's the huge, and with Washington, and that's next. As Washington State went into Oregon State and managed to win out. It was a rainy game. Wasn't the best game offensively for Washington, but a lot of people were counting them out in this one because it was raining and they wouldn't be able to pass as much. And Oregon State is known for their running, and Washington State's doesn't have the greatest run defense. So, but Washington took care of business. So, a lot of projections with FSU losing their quarterback. Their resume isn't as impressive as Washington. Washington beat a lot of teams ranked this year, including Oregon, which is their number 6. I think that this is enough to get Washington into the top 4, maybe even more, because a lot of folks are still getting on Michigan for not beating anybody, but Michigan will get to prove themselves next week. So that was a really good game. I did watch that one. Oregon destroyed Arizona State. Texas and Iowa State, really good game. Texas just tends to not really win games in a flashy way, but they win. So they're kind of still in the playoff race, but they're kind of outside looking in. They'll need some losses from other teams for sure. Alabama, I'm not a fan of these. I guess was it Chattanooga, however you pronounce it. Probably got paid millions and millions of dollars to play this game. Alabama playing, just what a dumb game. So Alabama won that one. Missouri and Florida, that was a great game. Florida really tried really hard, and with this game, you got to look at Florida State next week. They got Florida State, and Florida State, just lost their quarterback. So that trap game for me.
Hang on one second. Ariel says I'm out free. They released me from the hospital last night. Managed to get a good night's sleep in my own bed. Good deal, Ariel.
Awesome.
Good to see you, darling. Good to see you.
Great news.
Just saw the injury. Your leg can't bend that way normally. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at it later. I got up kind of late, but Knock did let me know about it during dinner. He was nice enough not to send me the picture so I wouldn't puke all over my wife. So
Joe was like, I'm at dinner. This better be good. And I was like, it's pretty significant in the college. It shakes up the entire playoffs. And so it was pretty significant news. But Louisville still maintaining a little shred of hope for the playoff. They have clinched their date with Florida State in the ACC playoffs or championship game, so that'd be great. And then the rest of these games, kind of whatever. Penn State wins, they don't matter anymore. Ole Miss wins, they don't matter anymore. Oklahoma did pull out a good game against BYU. And then LSU beat up Georgia State. Iowa eked out a win to become the Big 12 West champion against Illinois. That was a really close game. Got a field goal to win it. Arizona has been very impressive the last couple of weeks. So they got a win over Utah. Utah is just hurting. Notre Dame, the news story on this one was Sam Hartman going back to Wake, where he had been for 4 or 5 years. And then he moved to Notre Dame, so he balled out on that one. Clemson beat up UNC. Great game between Kansas State and Kansas, where Kansas State got a score late, and Kansas tried to score but threw a pick near the end of the game to cost them that one. Oklahoma State got a win over Houston. Houston came out pretty strong at the beginning of it, but couldn't hold it. Then Tulane got a big win over FAU to stay in their little race. So that's pretty much the biggest games I want to mention there.
Okay.
SMU getting their win over Memphis. I mentioned SMU earlier. App State over JMU was a pretty big win for App State. It keeps them in there. It's between them and Coastal Carolina for their little division. So that was a big win for them. JMU is still not eligible this year for anything, but it does count as a conference game for App State. So big win there, and JMU had, I think, like a 13-game win streak or something going on there. But, so great win by App State. Just taking the UCLA beat up on USC.
Yes.
So that
anytime Lincoln Riley's mercenary ass loses, I love it. Fuck him.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say fuck Caleb Williams because.
Well, what's funny is they were talking about how Chip Kelly was on the hot seat, and it's like, well, why isn't then he comes out and beats up Lincoln Riley's shitty defense, and so,
right? Yeah, get some.
So that was interesting. There's the New Mexico State University beating up Auburn, which anytime a group of 5 team beats up a SEC team, it's pretty big news. So that was a good win by them. UNLV got a huge win over Air Force. Air Force is sliding. Ever since they played Army.
Yeah. Ever since Army said, hey, look, you're the Army Air Corps. Quit this high-ended shit.
So that was for the lead. That was for the lead in the Mountain West. And now Boise State. Man, my Boise State guys have a chance.
There you go.
But let's see. Looking at this, we had a bunch of, we had then my Boise State guys, they beat up on Utah State. So they're still in the race for it. Probably the shocker has been Fresno as well. Fresno, kind of like Air Force, had a great start of the season. They've lost the last 2. Which has opened up the gate for Boise to get in the title game. So that was a big loss for the Fresno. That's probably an upset right there. So that's pretty much it for those games. Just kind of want to go ahead.
Before you move on, I got to recognize the chat again. What is she talking about here? What's the number next to the name of the colleges? What is the number? Oh, that's the ranking, darling. The top 25, you'll see a number next to them that gives you
the college football rank.
Is that the AP or the coaches poll?
Once the college football rankings come out, it switches to that.
Okay. And then he's saying, boo, U.S. Air Force lost. Well, guess what?
They did.
The Army Air Corps needs to lose when they play Army, okay?
That's right. So this is kind of what we have locked in so far.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. The championship games, what does it look like?
You got Big 12. Big 12 has a couple of teams in it. I got my little rankings here. You got Texas. If Texas wins next week, they're in. And then you have this 3-way right here between Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Kansas State. I'm not even going to pretend to figure out that tiebreaker. We'll find out after.
We lost Oklahoma State, so they've got one up on us. But
I think Oklahoma,
there's a lot of variables
next
there.
Week, that's it. That they got it. And then we have the MAC, which was already figured out this week, which is Miami, Ohio
versus Toledo. We've seen that one in the past. Yes.
Yep. So that's going to be in Detroit, Michigan. So that's a good one. We got the Mountain West Championship game. They're still figuring out who's in and who's got the seeding, but that's My Boise State Broncos are still in it. You had UNLV, who's on the driver's seat. They win next week. They're in.
Right.
And then Air Force, Boise State, and San Jose.
San
Boise
Jose
plays
State.
Air Force. Boise plays Air Force, and they beat in San Jose. So if
You
Boise
might
wins
be
next week,
controlling your own destiny, bro.
that's right. Because of that huge loss to Fresno, because Boise had lost to Fresno, there would have been very much traffic. But because they lost, so Boise's got a chance. And they got their bowl game. They clinched their bowl game with getting 6-5. So good for them. And then we got the American, which is, like I mentioned before, that's very crowded at the top there. We got Tulane, SMU, and UTSA. I already mentioned what their
undefeated
next week, but yeah, so great there. And then we got SEC. This one was determined, like a week ago. Georgia versus Alabama. Of course it is.
Shoot, Georgia.
Oh well,
Georgia has just they were kind of iffy earlier.
And look, they're number one now.
Yeah,
look at that. Imagine that.
Well,
they should have been number one all year.
Well, I mean, I get and they were an AP. They were an AP, but college football ranking tries to be a little different. They try to discuss what's going on this year, and Georgia didn't have really impressive wins. They really didn't, and they weren't playing that great against bad teams.
All I know is this:
to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
That's right.
Yeah. That's NFL. But lately they have shown to be the number one team, so that's why they're actually earned their number one. Sun Belt. We're still looking for the East champ, which is going to be either Coastal Carolina or App State, and I believe they play each other this next week, if I'm not mistaken. So winner of that goes in. No. I'm sorry. Coastal has to play JMU, which is going to be a hard win there. And then if App State wins, I think they're in. So I'm not sure which one is winning in, but Coastal Carolina is going to have a tough time getting that win, especially after JMU just lost a huge game. So the SWAC game, I don't really pay attention to. I don't really understand this one, so I don't really care about it. But that's also going on. ACC has been clinched, so you got Louisville going against a quarterbackless.
Wow,
Florida
man!
State. So that's huge.
I'm almost pulling for Florida State in that. I'm not a big fan of the Seminoles, but it would be great if their backup quarterback could get them through it. That would be.
Jameis Winston did it, and he was there at that game. So
I
wouldn't be surprised if he went up to what was it, Roadmaker? I think his name is the backup.
Roadmaker? No, that's a name.
Road something. What is it? Yeah, something like that. I know it was Road something. Yeah. And then we got the Big Ten championship game, which is basically going to be decided by Ohio or Michigan winning the East. And they're going to play Iowa, who is just so hard to watch. I don't think any team has won more games than them by scoring only 15 points.
Wow.
In like multiple games and winning. So I think they have like the record or something like that, the most wins in a season for how bad their offense is. But the defense is awesome. It's great. So maybe that's their chance. Force some turnovers and they have
some
a chance.
teams just win ugly like that. So what you're saying is they might be the Pittsburgh Steelers of the fucking
even worse, I would say. But the defense is really good. Like the offense, pretty bad. They fired their head coach. Unlike the Steelers, they still have Canada. Iowa, fired theirs. So I think that about covers most of it. Let me see just real quick. I think I got a minute or two. And Jesus, I hate this.
You have no time constraints, bro. You have no.
I know. I try to keep it about 20 minutes.
I know you do. I know.
Okay, so this is the last week of the season. Just going to kind of try to. We do have a Thanksgiving game, Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. Sure, we'll all be watching the NFL, but there is a game. And then Friday is a pretty big play. You got TCU at Oklahoma, Iowa, Nebraska. Nebraska, I think is. I can't remember if they won against Wisconsin, but they might be playing for a bowl game, so that might be a thing.
I think they lost to Wisconsin.
Did they lose to Wisconsin? Yeah, so that means that they're 5-6 right now, so they are playing for a bowl game, if that's the case. So could be kind of a thing for them. The big game on Friday, UTSA at Tulane. That's a pretty big game right there. My Broncos are playing on there. You got Mizzou playing at Arkansas. Texas is playing versus Texas Tech.
Mhm.
You got Oregon State, who's going to drop a few spots, but they're going to be at Oregon. So pretty darn good games on Friday. And then of course the big game, Ohio and Michigan.
Yeah,
teams,
that's one of the marquee matchups all year long, right there.
And next year, Big Ten, they're actually getting rid of divisions, so it might not have been as big a deal next year for this game, but this year you're out of the conference game, and that's a huge deal breaker for the committee when you're out of the conference game. So they would have been replaying the week after, if this was next year. So but winning in. Just taking a look here. Let's see if there's anything else that comes out. You got the Iron Bowl, of course. That's always an interesting game.
I'm sorry, I don't have the screen in front of me. Who's in the Iron Bowl?
Well, it's Alabama and Auburn.
Oh yeah,
the yearly Iron Bowl.
Gotcha.
Just taking a look here. Washington State at Washington. Of course, Washington's trying to, I think they'll get number 4 and just went out and they're in. But they got a huge game coming against Oregon. That was one I don't think I mentioned. If I did, was the Pac-12 game. It's most likely going to be. I think Arizona's still someone in the race. I'm not sure why, but I think it's going to be Oregon. And if Oregon wins, they're probably in because Oregon is the best one-loss team right now. As far as Alabama's like right there as well. So if they beat Georgia, they're in.
What about Washington?
What do you mean? I just mentioned them.
Oh, okay. You said Oregon.
No, I know. Oregon's playing Washington in the I believe in their championship game.
Gotcha.
So if Oregon wins that game, they're most likely in.
I got you. Okay.
Okay. And then of course, like I mentioned earlier, the Florida State University at Florida could be a trap game for them since Florida State lost their QB. Georgia's just playing Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, not a bad team. They got their bowl eligible last night, so not a bad team. But it's Georgia.
All right,
happened.
Collins, alma mater, has made it.
So that's about it. I don't see a whole lot. Just some wrapping up of conferences and teams trying to get bowl games. There was 24 slots remaining for bowl games. Out of the 41 games, and 10 teams became bowl eligible yesterday. So there are 14 slots left for them to try to get a bowl.
We've only got a couple of weeks left in the college football season.
Well, you got next week's the last game of the regular season,
right?
And then you got the championship.
And then you got championship weekend. Yeah.
Then you got Army Navy. You got Army Navy, and then and then bowl season starts.
And then it's bowl season. Yep.
That's it.
What a deal.
That's our call. I tried to fit it all in nice and neatly. So there you go.
All right. Very nice, man. Very nice. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. Ariel says, what is she saying over here? Yeah, but it's Fresno. And as someone that lives in Fresno, they aren't that great.
They're pretty good. They're actually.
Do the Marines have a team? Yeah, they play for the Naval Academy, young lady. And if so, should they lose to Navy sink? Since they are just a branch of them. No, they play for Navy. The Marines and go to the Naval Academy. That's their academy. They're part of the Navy. And by the way, the top academy this year was the Black Knights. Yeah, that's right. The Army, boys and girls. That's right. Beat them all.
Unfortunately for Army, they won 2 FCS teams and they're 5-6 right now. So even if they win next week, they won't be bowl eligible.
They won't be bowl eligible, and it sucks because I'd love to see them here in the Independence Bowl. It'd be great.
They need to stop. They need to stop scheduling 2 FCS. They're like one of the only teams that I saw this year that scheduled 2 FCS teams, and that only one counts for the bowl. So.
She says the College of the Sequoias is part of the NCAA. I don't know if they are or not. I really don't know who that is. Okay, those necklaces down there look all messy to be wearing. I don't even know what she was.
There was an ad underneath the.
Oh God! Okay, I miss the days in Nebraska and Colorado and Florida State. the day after Thanksgiving. Yeah, no kidding. That's good stuff. I also remember Army Navy at 3:30, and then the SEC championship game at 7:30. Yeah, they play the Army Navy game a lot earlier. These it's like right. It's got its own weekend right after championship weekend, right? Isn't that right, Knock? I think they play that after championship weekend, don't they? Pretty sure.
Yes, yeah. It's championship weekend, starting December 1st, and then the week after, week 15 is the Army Navy game where they play at 3:00.
Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for the college report, man. I know everybody appreciates it.
Very, very nice. Very, very eventful. I've been having a blast watching it.
I'm sure you've been enjoying it, man. Yeah. And he texted me during dinner last night. We had just wrapped up that show and we were sitting down at dinner, and he texted me about that grisly injury to this kid. And I hated for him. He was in the Heisman race, right?
He was.
I mean, he was on the lower end of it, but
probably the bigger.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, so hey, I don't know. If you ask me, from everything I've been seeing, I think the quarterback for LSU should be getting it, dude. That guy
Chase Daniel, yeah. It's really between him and Bo Nix right now. Those are like the two, and then Penix is like a pretty key third, but it's between those two.
Yeah,
I think they're just scoring points right now just to try to get it.
I just want to see him finish strong, dude. Because I'm not as big an LSU fan as my brother, but I do root for him, so he's not in a shitty mood all week, that kind of thing. I'm an Oklahoma guy, you know that. But, yeah, I'm pulling for the kid. Anytime anybody from LSU is doing good, and we're going to get into another LSU player, pretty significant injury this week when we get to the NFL. But thanks for the college report, man. I appreciate it. It's very cool. Let me go ahead and get the NFL, the big dogs up here. We got a lot to talk about with them this week, let me tell you. And Knock's going to enjoy the first conversation we have. Let me tell you, he is going to enjoy the first conversation we have, because we're going to talk about the Monday night game first. Yeah, the game that he said he had turned off because he was upset with his boys. But I'm sitting here watching that going, you know what? You shouldn't turn this game off, because if one thing holds true, weirdness happens when Russ Wilson plays on Monday Night Football. If you remember one of his earlier games in his career, they had scrub referees, and he threw the famous interception touchdown that brought back the regular refs after the second week of the season on a Monday night against the Packers. Yeah. Interesting game. I loved how it ended. It was completely awesome. You Bills fans can bitch and moan all you want, but if your guy crushes the wide receiver going back for the football, that is pass interference, and that's just all there is to it. And 12 men on the field, if you want to fire somebody, Ken Dorsey was not the guy to fire. They just threw him under the bus for that loss. He's not out there throwing interceptions to the Broncos secondary. He's not the guy doing that. If you need to fire anybody, you need to fire the guy that is now going to be the offensive coordinator, the fucking quarterback coach for the fucking Broncos. I mean, and I heard the guys on game day this morning saying they need to run the ball more. I don't know what game they were watching. They were having their way running the ball against you guys. Wouldn't you say, Knock? Anytime he handed the ball off, they were getting 8 at a crack.
Oh, it was pretty bad.
If they just kept handing that ball off, they'd have been fine. I mean, yeah, you can't fault the offensive coordinator. I think I've said it before. And this is just more proof. It's the next rung up the ladder for this, or excuse me, down the ladder. The Buffalo Bills 15 minutes are up. They are not going anywhere. Josh Allen has been exposed for being the mental pygmy that he is, and that's just all there is to it. If you can coach that out of him, I'd be shocked, because he's been doing it his whole career. How many years has he been playing now? 6, 7? And he does the same thing every time, man.
I think is he seen classes of Mahomes or the one after?
I'm not sure. It might have been. No, I think he came in the same year as Mahomes. So he's in year 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, Knock was ready to throw his phone. And I'm like, Russ hasn't thrown an interception. He's
Well, no,
doing what
it
he's
wasn't
supposed to
even that.
do.
It was, and who was it, Collins or whoever it was, or no? Because I was also watching the Peyton Manning, which was
Right.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Peyton Manning watch the Broncos is very entertaining. But
I'm sure it is. He's got a lot to say, I'm sure.
It was said perfectly. Where how many opportunities could you have in a game? The average starting point for the Broncos was like the 45. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
it was.
they weren't getting anything. Like they weren't getting any point. They should have been up by 50. Like there was way too many punts in that game. Way too many.
Yep.
Letting the Bills stay in the game. We should have been up by at least 20 points.
But one team was not making mistakes. The other team was turning it over like they were Lay's potato chips. They can't have just one. They had 2, 3, 4. I mean, they were just giving it back to you. And you can't win football games out there like that. And I love the way it ended. It just made me giggle my ass off because you guys know I can't stand that football team at all. I hate that team. And it was so great to see them lose on 12 men on the field. And they had already done that at the end of the half. You would have thought they'd be prepared for that because they did the same thing at the end of the half to get that field goal right before the half. Run those guys out there really quick with like 16 seconds left, right? And get it off. You think the Bills would have been prepared for that. You want to fire somebody, Buffalo, fire your special teams coach. I mean, or your quality control guys and gets the right people on the field. I just thought it was hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was great. Because, as you can see, I'm a Patriots fan. My wife's a Miami fan. We have no love for the New York Jets or the Buffalo Bills. Can't stand either one of those teams. But anyway, I'm glad your team won, buddy. I'm glad for Russ. You've reeled off 3 in a row. He's playing within himself. He's playing within the system, and you got to like what you're seeing in that portion. If somebody needs to improve from what I'm seeing, your wide receivers need to learn how to separate. That's what I'm seeing.
That's been a thing all year. Yeah,
yeah.
That's been I've said that multiple times all year.
Yeah,
it's definitely like, especially for how good they are. Cortland Sutton, and I think one of the things we're missing big time, and it sucks that it's happened 2 years in a row, but Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick was just that guy.
Yeah,
he just always found he was like our version of Kelsey, where he would find the holes. He would get he would do the big catches for us.
Yeah,
and we've been missing that all year long. We don't really have that.
Well, okay, so the Buffalo Bills go down to the Denver Broncos, and I love it. I personally love it. I think it's just totally awesome. Okay, the next one we got to talk about is, of course, hate to see this LSU Tiger go down, but in the second quarter, Joe Burrow succumbs to apparently what was already an existing injury. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yep.
I heard something about maybe the Bengals were under investigation, maybe because they didn't put him on the injury report or something. But whatever his wrist problem is, if it's a fracture, if it's tendons, whatever it is, he's got to have season-ending surgery. You could tell he couldn't even – he could grip the football and all that, but when it went to putting force and rotation on that ball, he grimaced every time he did it. He was in a lot of pain. On the release of the football, that's where he was hurting. And I got to say, the guy, Browning, the guy that came in for him, he didn't do bad. He wasn't out there throwing picks or anything. It's just, the timing was off. You can tell, and so they lost to the Baltimore Ravens. Would have been a great game if Joe could have gone through the whole game. But apparently this beating he's taken because of this line and, the protection problems that the Bengals, well chronicled, that they have, it's wearing on him. They have to concentrate on this in the future. They have to, because this guy, I think even John, who made a statement a few weeks back, he may be coming around on this guy a little bit. What do you say about that, John? He's getting beat up. I mean, dude, if he had a better line, he may,
They wanted the turnstile. They got him.
That's true. That's true. They got him from you guys, didn't they? Good Lord. But hate to see it. Guy's talented. The playoff race is not going to be as fun without him. But, Browning didn't look bad. With a week under his belt, he might be serviceable, in the next game. I don't know if they're playing today or not. No, they played Thursday, so they're playing next week. Yeah, and they've got time to prepare him. So the Bengals may not be done, but in the division they're in, I've said all year that's the division you need to be watching because these teams beat each other up. And, yeah, it's going to be rough for them. Okay, so that was Thursday night's game. Let's get into discussing today's games. The first one we have on the docket is the freaking, let's see, open a new window. Yeah, I know Knock could be most proud of me for that. We got the Cowboys at the Panthers. Dak Prescott is having he had a great friggin' October. The guy has been lighting it up, and I think that continues today. But it may not. I heard a stat earlier today, and it could be just because of the division they play in, but I heard that the Carolina Panthers are number 6 in pass defense. Apparently they're really good at stopping passing, as far as yardage goes and stuff like that. So, maybe they can slow them down, but I don't think their offense can muster enough to beat this team. What say you, John? I don't know where Knock went. He must be busy doing something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It depends on which Dak shows up.
Aha. Yeah, our man took off to take care of something. Which Dak shows up. Yeah. That's what it all hinges on. That's a fact. We've seen games where he looks like Joe Montana, putting it right on people in stride. And we've seen games where everybody, when he makes the mistakes is when he's, and this is what I've noticed about him. And he just needs to mentally get it out of his system and prepare better or something. But when he is flummoxed, he throws everything high. Yep. He throws it all 3 yards over the guy's head. And I just don't understand it. It's like he doesn't follow through or something. I don't know. I don't know what the mechanic
know that,
is.
so they'll go high just to try and get that pick.
That's it. They'll go after it. Yeah. I mean, you study enough film on the guy. That's what he does. He doesn't throw worm dirt. It's all high. When he messes it up, it's high every time. But boy, this last month though, he's been, dude, he's lighting it up.
Them boys have been doing good.
Yeah. And what was it? 2 years ago, he was having second half of the season like this when he busted his ankle, remember? And was gone for the rest of the season. I mean, it's always something with them. I don't want to wish anything bad on them, because they are a local team here. And he is from my area. He went to school really close to here. So don't want to see anything bad happen to him, but damn, keep playing the way you're playing, man. Don't let these guys get to you. But anyway, yeah, I'd have to say that's going to be Dallas's game. The next one we got is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, and this takes on a new dimension this week.
Oh, yeah.
Because, real quick before we get on to this one, Dallas, Carolina, do you give Carolina a chance to win that game?
Well, no.
Yeah, I was fixing to say. The only thing I could give them was I did hear a stat this morning that apparently the Panthers are number 6 in overall pass defense. They're really good at it apparently, but I don't think their offense can even,
Bryce has been a little bit better lately.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's always a chance.
Yeah.
And it's the Cowboys. So, I mean, there's always a chance.
Well, unless Dak gets his ankle busted again, the second half of the season, he comes on like gangbusters. So, and he had a great October. I mean, I think I saw something this morning. He had like 1,200 yards passing and the best quarterback rating of any Cowboys quarterback in their history over a month period. So, Yeah, he's coming on like gangbusters. Whether or not he can maintain it, that's the thing with him, right? Which Dak are we going to get? That's what me and John were discussing.
Yeah, teams put him in the if Carolina can put him in the ground a couple of times, that's
when the balls start going high. That's
yep.
Then you can go get them. Yep, that's for sure. Okay, so we got this one: the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. What's the kid's name that's backing up and starting for the Browns? Number 17,
Thompson something.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I don't know, man. That's like I said earlier this year, and I've been saying it every week. This is the division to watch if you want to watch some Grizzly smash mouth football. These guys beat each other up.
Yep.
And
Thompson Robinson.
Okay. Well, we'll see what he's made of today. What happened to Walker? Is he hurt? The guy that was playing earlier this
Walker?
season?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know, but I'm guessing they just want to let the rookie go and see what he can do.
And see what he can do. Yeah. Well,
he's pretty good in the preseason.
Yeah.
How much did they trade for Deshaun Watson?
Everything.
Dude, everything.
Yeah, it was like 5 picks or something, including like 3 first rounds or something.
Yeah, next year he'll be amazing.
Sure, that's what isn't that what they said last year?
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, next year
he change the tone now. How about the Steelers, man? Jesus,
dude, we are going to see 2 of the. If you're a defensive fan, you're going to see 2 of the best fucking pass rushers in the NFL playing today.
And you're going to see 2 of probably the worst offenses.
Yes, and 2 of the greatest defenses. The over under this game might be.
This is a game I'm not going to like. This is
right?
a game I would
it's
not
not,
like.
But I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it.
It's not even because of defenses. It's because of how bad the offenses are probably going to be.
This game might be
that's what I
2-4.
don't care. And Joe only thinks of it as just me hitting defensive games. It's not just that. It's not always because of the defense. It's because of bad offenses.
Mm-hmm.
The defense can have a great game because it's a bad offense. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, I got you. But we're going to see T.J. Watt versus Myles Garrett, and both of them chasing down Reggie White's freaking 100-game sack record. I mean, shoot, man, this is fun. I'm going to enjoy watching this if I can see it. I'm one of those guys who only watches the local games. But you know what? What's funny is if you don't have the money to get Red Zone, if you don't have the money to get what do they call that? The NFL ticket. If you don't have money for that, and you do have NFL Network, just turn that on the side on a monitor or on your iPad or something, because within a minute or so of almost every score, you see it on there. They run it all day long. So it's kind of like Red Zone on delay is what it is. They check in on every game. So that's what I do. I've in the afternoon, I've got them on the small TV and whatever my afternoon game is, but I have both games on and the iPad with NFL Network on when I'm watching. But anyway, this is going to be fun. I think, oh man, I'm going to give the Steelers the nod just because they have their starter going. That's the only reason why I'm.
They also have Fairmouth coming back too. They're tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
That will maybe hopefully opened up their offense into amazingness, right? We'll see.
If you want to open up an offense, you get a new receiver.
But it'll definitely help. It'll definitely help for sure.
Yeah, you give them a security blanket to go to for sure. Latoya in the house. What's up? Good to see you. Oh, look at her with the Texas Rangers thing. Nice. But this is going to be a smash mouth game. I would say the winner might win it 2-3, 2-4. This could be pretty bad. This, if you're an offensive fan, don't watch this one. But I'm giving the nod to the Steelers. And who you got, John?
I'm going to give it to the Steelers because the Cleveland Browns playing a rookie. We don't know what he's got yet.
Yeah. And he might throw 5 touchdowns for all we know.
Or he might throw 5 picks.
He might throw 5 picks. That's it.
He might not throw it all.
Right.
He might get hurt in the first play. We have no idea.
Yeah.
You don't know. All right. Knock, did you say who you wanted in this one?
I'd like to go on a limb with the Browns, but I can't. I got to go Steelers. I do think the Browns, have Kareem Hunt. and they have run game. So
Yeah.
defense and I mean it's probably gonna be a low scoring game, like 3-2 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm telling you, this could be a baseball
Who
score, no
knows?
doubt. Yep.
So
All right.
I'm gonna go Steelers though.
All right, bud. Next one we got is the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. Now, one good thing for you Bears fans, Fields is back today. He's going to be here playing today.
Yeah.
He will run 199 yards and they'll still lose by 30
and
points.
throw
So
3 picks and
fantastic.
lose the game. Yeah.
He's fantastic. You got Montgomery who's going back to play the Bears for the first time. New Lions team. So he's gonna be chomping.
You know.
He's gonna be chomping.
He's
I'm
going to be
Lions
looking to
all the way.
freaking
Not even
give me
playing
that
with this
ball.
one. Lions are on a tear. They're having
Yep.
a great season. They're trying to keep up with the Eagles. So I'm going Lions.
Yep, I am too. I don't see any way the Bears are going to win this game. I really don't.
I told you this season I'm not betting against the Lions. So
yeah,
at this point, it's the Lions' games to lose. That's it. The only way they lose is if they lose to themselves. That's it.
I'd have to pull up their schedule. Let me see if I can pull up their schedule real quick. Hang on. Do they have the schedule on here for them? Okay, that's upcoming games.
Full schedule.
Bears, Packers, Saints. Those are all winnable games for them. All winnable games. Full schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Down the stretch. We're going to do this with a few teams, I'm sure.
Getting closer.
Here we go. 11. Yeah, Green Bay, Saints, Bears again.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos. Now.
Might be a tough one, although we get destroyed by every time we play the Lions. We get
destroyed. You beat the champs, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, whatever it is with the Lions, we don't do very well against the Lions.
I'm just saying, look, the Saints' offense is in turmoil. The Bears are the Bears. Green Bay, nobody's scared of that team, but people are starting to fear your team because they still have a good defense, and if the offense continues not to muck it up, that they actually can win games. It's been proven. They've done it over the last 3 weeks.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how much has changed in the last 3 weeks after that Miami game?
Yeah.
It's like the defense is good. It's defense.
Yep. They took it personally. Yeah. Now Minnesota's going to be another tough one for them, but
Dobbs is
playing out of his mind. Yeah, these last 3 is where they're going to be tested down the stretch here. Oh, last 4. Look at this. They're playing Minnesota twice in 3 weeks, too.
Yeah.
Wow. The Bears, not so bad, but playing the Vikings twice in 3 weeks, that's tough. At least.
So, again, and if they win the next, 4 games, right, the winnable ones, that this season's, that puts them in the playoffs as far as I can tell. Yep. And so, at this point, if they lose any of these next 4 games, that's on them.
Yeah. It's on them, man. But they're definitely in the driver's seat as far as the 2nd seed right now. And hey, Philly's only lost 1 game, but you know what? They could easily lose. They still haven't played their best football, if you ask me. They mess up just as much as any other team.
Almost lost the Patriots, almost lost to the Commanders.
Dude, they have scored 6 touchdowns with the tush push. That play right there gets them over so much shit. It's not even funny. I mean, it really is. And I'm not one of these proponents that says get rid of it either. I think it's amazing that they can do that. You know what I mean? Their line is that good, making that much of a glacier-like push. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Supposedly we've got a plan for them, so we'll see.
Well, people have stopped it. The Commanders stopped it at the goal line. The last time they played them, I watched it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. People need to take a look at that film, see what's up. But yeah, they're in the driver's seat as far as the 2nd seed goes. Next one we got here. Oh man, do we need to talk about this game really?
I'm rooting for Green Bay.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah, of course you're rooting for Green Bay. Can't stand this team, I know. Yeah, look at both of you guys are saying Green Bay. You know Green Bay's not going to beat this team. The only thing that's going to stop
Joe, I think
the Chargers from winning is their fucking head coach. You know that.
I mean, there's another thing you got to take into account, Joe. Maybe the Chargers just aren't that good.
Really? Okay.
I mean, look at
We're
their
gonna move
record.
on now.
I mean,
that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just win 5 games, because you're great.
Would
so.
you like to have Keenan Allen on your roster right now, bro?
Oh, I love Keenan Allen. I do have him on my roster,
Huh?
so yes, I do have him on my roster.
Keenan Allen,
Even when they lose, he's off the chain, man. Give me a break.
Keenan Allen's the reason why I lost last week, so I don't want to hear Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. They are talented. It's
they got the
coaching with them.
pieces. They just
It's
don't.
So I
coaching
mean,
with
I
them.
think you're right. When you have a team that's as talented as this is, that's coaching.
Yeah, it's all
coaching.
Yeah,
that's
no doubt. There's no reason why the Chargers should look. I'm picking them in this game because I'm hoping they don't get in a bunch of 3rd and 1s or 4th and 1s. I'm just hoping they don't. I hate rooting for.
Well,
this is the thing. I have a friend who is a diehard Chargers fan, and they've always got a good quarterback that I like. So I root for them in that division. But man, damn, they cannot get it together when it comes to the coaching end of the fucking spectrum. It's just.
You think all the analytics that they rely on would tell them, hey, the problem's the coaching.
Hey, the problem's the fucking coaching. It was funny as shit. They had a piece on NFL Game Day this morning where Rich Eisen was the guy in the Shark Tank, and everybody was coming to him with pitches for a wild card spot. And it was the Raiders, the Chargers, and a couple of other ones. I think it was, I can't remember who they were. But when the Chargers guy came up, he was saying how talented they are, but we have a problem with our CEO. I mean, they were describing it like a business. And he goes, you lost me on that right there. And that's it. Brandon Staley, you guys know I can't stand this guy, and I can't believe he's got a fucking job. It's ridiculous. And he will be fired at the end of the year. And don't be surprised if Jim Harbaugh is the coach of the fucking Chargers next year. Don't be surprised if that happens. Let's see. The next one,
Bill Belichick, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. Somebody really good is going to be the coach of the Chargers next year. Believe that, and it won't be Brandon Staley, whatever his name, Stokely, whatever fucking name is. He's retarded. Yeah. We got here Arizona Cardinals versus the Houston Texans. Now, a couple weeks ago, this game looked stupid as shit. It really did. But after watching the way that pygmy played last week, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game.
The 1-0 Kyler Murray.
The 1-0 Kyler Murray, yep. And
he's
you know
this season,
I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan, but I've never been sold on Kyler Murray. But during the regular season, he's like the guy from he's like Lamar Jackson, the guy from the Ravens. Regular season, this guy can whoop your ass like it's nobody's business. But man, come the postseason, not so much, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what's my man's name, the head coach of the Houston Texans. He used to be the linebacker for him. Help me out, Knock. You know his name?
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
The head coach of the Texans. I'm having a senior moment.
Oh, DeMarco Ryans.
Yeah.
DeMeco Ryans. That's
DeMeco Ryans. I'm sorry.
DeMeco Ryans. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what he comes up with to keep Kyler Murray from getting loose. You know how
one big hit. That's it.
That's true. That's all it's going to take with that kid, right? Because he is a dwarf. But
concussions are all the rage this year. So
yeah, they are.
One concussion hit, and then you're good.
Right. But you know my mentality. You rush 5, and keep him, and don't rush upfield and keep him in there. That's what you do. You rush an extra guy, cover each side, and play contain. Keep him in the pocket. If you do that, at least you take the legs away. But this kid can throw too. I mean, he's really good at it. So the Cardinals, even though they're 2-8, they're not going to be a pushover, guys. They're not going to be a pushover at all. But I think the Texans. Have we said enough about C.J. Stroud and how he looks like a veteran already at the wheel? The kid. One thing's for sure: if it's a close game, I got to side with the Texans because that guy has ice water in his veins. He really does.
I mean, he's going from offensive rookie year to starting to become
possible
a contender
MVP.
for MVP. Yeah, absolutely. He's playing at that level right now. So I mean,
he is.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let him roll.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm going to give the Texans a nod because they're at home and because of the way he's played in close games down the stretch. I mean, dude, that win against the Buccaneers was bizarre. And then he went into the Bengal land and did the same thing. Had more time to do it, but he still did it. I mean, most rookies they'll make that mistake down these kinds of stretches. He's not. And heard them talking about it this morning that the rookies in this locker room are leading the team, and the veterans aren't mad about it. They're kind of, it's giving them some youth. You know what I'm saying? And they're all embracing it. Really.
Yeah, you got to feel good as a Texans fan for like the next decade. Like this team is going to be relevant unless something happens.
Right.
This is a young team. Like kind of like how Jacksonville has been, it was a young team that put the pieces together through the draft and things like that, and they got a new coach and they're fresh, and man, you got to be feeling good about this team if you're a fan.
I like ex-players as coaches, man, and D'Amico Ryans is doing it. I dig it. He's got. I mean, well, just look at what Antonio Pierce has done with the Raiders over the last 2 weeks. That place, they act like the Wicked Witch got killed, man. They're just. Beside themselves with joy. They're out there having fun.
I think at this point we can just say everyone can acknowledge that they would hate to play for the Patriots, right? For Bill Belichick or any of his staff, right? That spawned from him.
Maybe
because
not. Maybe not Bill Belichick per se.
No. Hear me out.
His minions, yes.
Hold on.
Okay. All right.
The difference between Bill Belichick and his minions is that he wins Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Players will put up with a lot of shit if your team is winning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're McDaniels and Patricia and stuff like that with your offsprings, and even now with Bill's is in the hot seat right now because he's not winning. Mm-hmm. Winning changes everything. Yeah. When you're not winning Super Bowls, there's a lot less the players are going to put up with.
Right.
And so, in this.
But if you hear the guys, but if you hear the guys like Randy Moss, for instance. You hear him talk about his days in New England. He says he wished he played there his entire career. It was a great atmosphere. That they handled stuff internally. The players and a lot of this, I hate to say it, a lot of it was Brady. Brady held people to a standard. Yeah. And you know what? C.J. Stroud is doing the same thing. I heard a story this morning that he actually stopped a practice himself, not the coaches. And pulled everybody together and said, hey, man, you're playing like shit. Let's get on the ball here, figure out what the fuck we're doing wrong. He got into everybody in the middle of a practice. That's the difference between great leadership and when you don't have it.
Did you? I don't know if you. I saw a piece of it, but did you see the interview? I don't even know who hosted it, the person, but he had Stroud and Tom Brady in the interview.
Oh,
and
really?
Like the last thing you should look it up. It's a really good interview. The last thing he asked Stroud, he was like, "Hey," the commenter host was like, "Hey, do you have one last question for Tom Brady?" And Stroud was like, "How do you handle the success of your position? Throughout the season?" Mm-hmm. And Tom Brady was like, "Look, you need to think of this as a job, not as entertainment for your family and friends,
right?
Like you're not during this season. You need to be focused." During the season, and that's your
that's why he lost his supermodel wife, because he was not accessible during the season, and he said he was going to retire, and then he came back, and she wasn't down with it because he was not going to be around. He was going to be working, right?
Then they lost
really cool interview there. So I would definitely look it up.
Okay,
and then they lost millions of dollars in that
FTX thing. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yep, for sure. But anyway, anybody taking Arizona in this one? Yeah.
I think they have a good shot with Murray back. Cool.
Yep.
But I like Stroud.
Yep. So do I. John, you on board with that too?
Yeah, I'm on with the Texans. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one we got. Are we still?
I hope they lose because the Broncos need them to lose. But
Right. Of course. Yeah.
They're in the
these
7th
are
spot right
who
now.
we think is going to win, not necessarily who we're
Right.
rooting for. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm not going to pay attention to this game at all. This is
Really.
Titans have gone back. It's just that one game with Levis. Titans have gone back to mediocrity, and Jags are just stinking up the place.
Yeah. If
not
they've
looking forward
got
to this
an
game at all.
edge, it's their running back because look, from what I heard this morning, he may be playing, but he's got a hurt knee. I'm talking about
Etienne.
No, the quarterback.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence he's got a tweaked knee. So that's what I heard this morning. And hey, what's up, Matt? Good to see you, brother.
Hey,
what's going on?
Man. Not much.
Yeah, a little late at church.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't go this morning. I think I just, maybe I leaped ahead or fell back an hour or whatever.
Something. You had some timing issues today, huh?
Oh, so you change your clocks, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
it's been a couple weeks, so
that was. It's only been a couple of weeks, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I heard this morning on NFL Game Day that he's got a tweaked knee. He's playing, I think. I'm pretty sure he is, but. Yeah, they are stinking up the place, like you said. And I don't know. This is tough to call. Jacksonville's at home, so you got to kind of give them the nod. Just because and I'm going to say this again for people who have never seen us do this. I always say home team, lean towards that because they're going to get the calls because the refs want to be able to walk to their cars at the end of the day. Unless it's totally obvious, they're going to get the calls. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Levis isn't playing bad. He's not playing bad. They're trying to find their identity now. I wish they'd go back to the formula they did the day that he started for them, pounding the rock constantly and then going long. You know what I mean? It looked like the old Pittsburgh Steelers, with Franco and Terry Bradshaw during that, the game where he debuted and they were wearing the Oilers uniform and he threw 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that game, if they just go back to that formula, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Of course, I haven't seen him since that game, so I don't see him very much. But the record speaks for itself. If I had to pick this game, I would say the Jaguars, but I'm pulling for the Titans because I like Mike Vrabel. And if he gets the right trigger man, I think he could take that team somewhere. Knock, thoughts, go.
Like I said before, I don't care for this game. I'm leaning Jaguars, but of course I want the Titans to win just to keep things fun in the AFC. But I'm leaning Jaguars.
Yep. John?
Yeah, well, I've got a soft spot for Vrabel.
Yep.
Because, he was a chief.
Yes, he was.
But it's gonna be all on the legs of Jacksonville's running back on Etienne.
I think he's the best player on the field today.
Yeah,
I really do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I got to go Jacksonville.
Yep. Okay. Matt, what you think, man?
I'll go Jags. And whenever I think of Vrabel, I just think about how much like Belichick, it is amusing to watch him when he's frustrated because he can't hide it.
No, he can't. He wears it on his sleeve.
Face. Yeah.
But he doesn't scream, I got to give him that. He doesn't yell like Bill does. It's not, Bill's in his 70s now. He needs to stop yelling at people, dude. He really
Yeah.
He needs to retire.
Mr. Personality.
Yeah, Mr. Personality. You know what's funny, though? If you see him in interviews away from football, the guy's hilarious. He's funny as fuck.
Like
he's
much
much more
person.
relaxed.
He's a different person in a sit-down interview versus a press conference.
Exactly. The press conference, he ain't giving up shit. He's not going to tell you shit. You're not getting shit.
Yeah. Like at a press conference, like you could give him like the greatest compliment in the world and he'd be like, thanks.
Next week. Next opponent. Okay, so we're all on the Jags. Next one we got. This is an interesting game because my wife is all hyped for it. It's Miami Dolphins hosting the Raiders. And I think Rich Eisen said it best this morning. He said, yeah, Antonio Pierce has got those guys flying around having fun. He said, and they've looked really good against 2 New York football teams in the last week, but the last team that from the AFC West that went down to Miami got smashed for 70. So not looking for much out of the Raiders today, and I'm kind of on board with that. I think that Miami's I'm pretty sure they have. Did they play last weekend? I think they were on a bye last week.
They were on a bye with us.
They've had a couple of weeks to get ready for this game. They're chomping at the bit to light up that scoreboard. They're getting Achan back, who was ripping it up before he was out with injury. Does anybody want to take Las Vegas in this? I mean, dude, come on. I mean, it's a good story. Antonio Pierce, I dig the guy. I believe he was on the last Super Bowl team for them, wasn't he? I think he was a linebacker for him then. The Giants, I'm speaking of. That's who he played for. But
the Raiders coach?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think he was on the last team that Eli won with.
Or maybe even the team before that.
Could have been. But and I like what he's doing there. The guys, they're happy as fuck, everything because the evil Josh McDaniels, the franchise killer, is gone. And but yeah, they come back down to earth today.
There was definitely a sudden change of culture in that team.
Yes, absolutely, and you could see it. And the thing that was most impressive out of the 2 wins they've had was last week when it came down to crunch time. Antonio Pierce made unlike the Chargers head coach, he made all the right decisions down the stretch to keep his team in a position to win, and he won the game. I thought it was a really good win for him.
All I know is I want to tell Mark Davis, don't go hire Bill O'Brien to replace Josh McDaniels.
Right.
We'll get more of this thing.
Well, I don't know how you could do that after seeing the way the Patriots offense is playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck. Oh my God.
But what would happen is if O'Brien got that job, then Josh McDaniels would be the OC for the Patriots again.
Right. Let's see. Admiral Tig, how you doing this morning, man? He says, oh man, I hope I don't miss the coverage of the Jets game. How much did you predict they win by? We have not touched on the Jets yet, buddy. We haven't gotten there yet. But we're discussing this one right here. And Admiral Tig, I'm sorry. Last week he was mad at me because he blamed me for the Jets loss against the Raiders. And I was like, no, man, I don't make the news. I just report it. I picked the Raiders because I thought they were on a momentum swing and I thought they would be able to outlast you guys, and they did. But anyway, does anybody give Vegas a chance to win this game? Anybody?
No. And
I mean, against better teams, Miami hasn't been that great. So, and I'm not saying the Raiders are a better team, but the Raiders are. I'd say they have a chance for sure. But I'm going to stick with Miami just because of that offense. They're due for a game.
I'm surprised Tua's lasted this long.
Right, this is the longest he's played in the season. What were you going to say, Matt? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and I know you don't go by betting lines, but Miami's a 14-point favorite. That's a lot in NFL. 14.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but
wow, 2 touchdown favorite. If you want to lay money on the Raiders,
I saw this morning
2 touchdowns. Holy shit! Wow, that's crazy. Admiral T says everyone knows any sports team that plays in Las Vegas has players and coaches on the take, and they can also buy a fake win like we saw last week. Oh God! The second half was clearly a simulation. People who were at the game need to verify that score to me before I believe it. Oh, God. Let's see. And my wife is chiming in. She says Tua worked the whole offseason to learn how to fall. Yeah, that is true. He learned how to slide and how to get down, when he's under pressure. He did practice that in the offseason, trying to protect himself. The Dolphins suck and will lose.
Oh, imagine that coming from a Jets fan.
That's a Jets fan right there, boy. Yeah, it is. To prevent injury. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's like me saying, "Oh, the Chiefs are a terrible team."
Yeah, the Chiefs suck, right?
Yeah, can't believe it. Can't believe they're at the top of the AFC right now. They're so bad.
Right. Oh,
well, Vegas, they have an NHL team, an MLS team. They have an NFL team. They're
fixing to have a Major League Baseball team, which I think fucking sucks. I can't believe the Athletics are leaving fucking Oakland, man.
Well, it's the stadium.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know.
And
what
whenever
it is.
I can't believe baseball's still a thing.
Gosh,
whenever
Something
LeBron
that-
retires and the NBA goes from 30 to 32 teams, they want to have one of those two teams be in Vegas and he be part owner of it. So
Yeah.
Las Vegas could go from 0 franchises to 5 in like a matter of 10 years?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
crazy.
Yep, sure could.
That's never happened. Yeah.
Well, a lot of money's going there because there's a lot of gambling going on.
Yep.
All over the country, and that's the hub of it right there. So,
Yep.
I don't want to get on a rant, but we're going to move on to the next game, which is we're still in the 1 o'clock Eastern time window. Good Lord,
Yeah,
man.
there's a lot of games.
The New York Giants. Well, I think all the I think all the bye weeks are getting over with. So yeah. Let's see. The Giants at the Commanders. Wow.
Well, I think some of
God.
these teams are preparing for the Thanksgiving game, so they want to play. Well, no. I'm just saying, like they're 1 p.m. games.
Right.
I'm not sure whether they're 1 p.m. games, so they have to, they're trying to play as early as they can during the week so that they can be ready for the Thursday, because there's gonna be 6 games, 6 teams playing that. So I think that's why there's a lot
says,
more.
Las Vegas is apparently so. I feel like it's safe, but who would trust a team based there? Yeah, I don't think they should have sports teams there, but that's just me. The Giants are terrible and will lose. Yeah, that's
I can agree more with that one,
right?
But I know why he's saying it. So
yes, exactly. Well, this is in your market for sure. I'm sure you hear more about the Commanders than any other. football team.
Yeah. This is and it's kind of the same setup as it was last time they played. There's no way we can. That's all I heard. There's no way we can lose to the Giants.
Yeah,
and they lost to the Giants.
And they lost to the fucking Giants.
They're literally in the same boat that they were last time.
Mhm.
Washington should win this one, but will they? Probably not. Although I will say Daniel Jones, I don't think is in this one. Is he back? I can't remember. Is he still hurt?
No, he's gone for the season, man.
Is he? Is he out for the season? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was always the one that would destroy the Commanders. So he's not playing. Maybe the Commanders have a chance this time. So I don't know.
No, it's DeVito.
That's right. I haven't paid attention.
It's the guy they don't let throw the football. All he does is hand off on 3rd and 17. He's going to run a draw play. Trust
they
us.
would be better. They would be better with Danny DeVito,
right?
He could throw underneath the lineman's legs.
Yeah.
Right.
Like between their legs. Yeah.
When did we get back on Kyler Murray?
George R.R. Martin will make no progress on that book after watching today's Giants game. No doubt. The Giants coach has lost the faith of his players, in my opinion. I mean,
has to happen.
I don't know. Can you put it on the coach, or who's the GM that decided to throw a shit ton of money at a quarterback that's basically the Anglo-Saxon equivalent of Colin Kaepernick? I mean, who do you put the blame on? I mean,
I feel like Kaepernick at least runs a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Well, there was an article that I saw earlier this week that talked about how I think the 2023 Giants are maybe the 10th worst offense in NFL history in terms of points per game. Joe, I hate to tell you, the worst ever was I think it was a 92 or 93.
You guys waving at? I'm sorry. Hang on a second.
I'm waving at Allison.
Okay.
I don't know. So
where's she at?
She
I'm assuming that's who John is waving at. So
okay. I see Tim. It must be delayed for me. Or something.
No. Okay. I was just reacting to John's wave.
Okay.
That's all.
I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead. Who was the?
I was going to say the Giants coming into this week were the 10th worst offense in NFL history in terms of points per game, and I hate to tell you, the worst all time was either like the 92 or 93 Seahawks. It was
92 or 93 Seahawks.
It was one of those.
That would have been the Rick Meyer years, I believe.
We were threatening that last year. Okay, I think we were like 13 points or something like that. So we were trying to break it last year. That's for sure.
A lot of the worst offenses in NFL history were in the 90s, as it turns out.
Yeah.
You had a couple of Jeff George Colts teams that were really bad. But yeah, not
Jeff George. Well, yeah, I can attest to the fact that yes, they were. I'm not I'm not insulted by the fact it was the Seahawks. We had many, many losing seasons. Look, Cortez Kennedy went to the Hall of Fame, and he played in one playoff game and lost, guys. This guy, he set the record for most sacks at the defensive tackle position. He was double teamed his entire career and only played 9 years, and he was a beast. And he played on so many bad football teams, it wasn't even funny. I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all.
that reminds me of a little tight end called Gonzalez that played for a very bad team for many years.
Yeah, I was about to say, look at how many bad years the Chiefs had.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't until he got to the Falcons that he finally got to the playoffs.
Right. Made it to a Super Bowl, that kind of thing, Yeah. But anyway, okay. So, is anybody giving the Giants a chance to win this?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm
not picking them, but absolutely yes.
Well, I give them a chance to win it, but
this is Washington, and I think it's more than a chance. It's just on paper it should be the Commanders. Like
it should be the Commanders.
It's
just like last time.
What do you say, Joe? What do you say? No matter how often, no matter what time of the year of it, no matter how either team is doing, who is the Seahawks kryptonite?
No, it's the Rams. Yeah,
exactly.
They're going to beat us.
That's it.
They're going to beat us.
Scenario.
As beat up as that team is right now, they could come into Seattle and beat us on our home turf. No doubt about it.
That's what the Giants are. Yeah, that's what the Giants are.
Yeah, it's a division game, and they throw out the fucking records, and they don't give a shit. And they beat each other up. Yeah, it's true.
I think if Daniel Jones was still there, I would have picked the Giants just because he tears them up. But I think the main reason I'm picking Washington is because of DeVito. That's mainly
okay.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to the next one. Let's see. Let's check the chat one more time before we go. Let's see. Put her on the show, John. Tim says. Let's see. Elusive win 3, not in the cards for the Gents versus the Redskins. By any name. That's right. I still call them that too, buddy. Let's see.
All right, give me a second.
Okay. Washington Football Club was a better name. The Commanders suck. It's totally sucks. Hang on 1 second. Get back there, girl.
Get back here. He's going to put me big screen.
Oh, God.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing? Hello. Waving at you. All right. Very cool.
They all say hi.
That's right. She is not a ghost woman. She's not a figment of your imagination.
Yeah. It's not like George Glass with Jan Brady.
She's not Manti Te'o's girlfriend. It's John's girlfriend.
Brings in like a blow-up doll. Hey, guys.
All right. Let's see. Washington Football Club was a better name. The Commanders suck. It totally sucks. Well, from what I understand, they're changing the name in the offseason again.
Nothing official. Nothing, okay. Absolutely nothing official. If
they're smart, they'll go back to the Redskins.
If they're smart. Let's see. They should have renamed the team the Warriors or the Braves and kept the Native American logo. That's what I said. I said Washington Warriors. How hard is it? They wouldn't even have to change the logo.
Well, they can't go Generals because that's taken.
Right. They can't use the Generals because that's who the Harlem Globetrotters beat the shit out of every time you see them live. Yeah.
You don't particularly want to be named after them. So
No, you don't. Okay. This game here. My question for the panel, are the San Francisco 49ers back after last week's win?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
You think which one of them went there? Was it Sweat or Chase Young?
Young.
It was Young? Okay. Do you think that addition is...
Sweat went to the Bears.
Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember. I know one went to the Bears and one went to the Niners, but I couldn't remember which one.
Oh, yeah. And watching Chase Young, he's going to love it there.
He's enjoying it.
Was that the Commanders' way of saying, "Oh, we're still alive for the playoffs. We must unload.
We must unload."
I think they're preparing for life without Rivera.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too.
They badly needed picks though, and they were both in they're both in contract years. It's one of those things where if you're not planning on keeping them past this year, because they're going to be in a rebuild mode for sure. Mm-hmm. They finally got a competent QB, looks like. Sam,
it looks like he's
and
a little seasoning.
Let's shore up the offensive line, kind of deal. Maybe get another weapon. Maybe like a really good tight end would be nice. I know they got Thomas, but he kind of gets injured a lot. Yeah. So maybe get something like that. Maybe and just kind of and then focus on a little bit more on the defense. But It's just
the
they're
enemy
close. I
has
think they're
learned at the
close.
feet of a master. So
Yeah,
Well-
and they've really come about. So I think they're close. They need to keep it going for sure.
All this talk we heard of Eric Bieniemy being a hard ass and all this stuff, it looks like it's helped that offense, if you ask me.
It has.
They kept them focused.
Yeah. I struggle with the fact they got unloaded both of them. I could see
Mhm.
one, but
Yeah,
you
but not
need
both.
something as a foundation to your defense. And
Well,
maybe
what's funny is
maybe they have depth at that position. Maybe the guys that are backing
not
up
that kind of depth, but for them, Young never lived up to the hype for them. He was
Young
never
was
because
he's injured a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. But even when he was playing, it was more of a he's doing his own thing, or they're
Kind of like Clowney.
better.
Kind of like Clowney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do better with the scheme than
Mhm.
when they do with a super, a high potential player. But Young was supposed to be Von Miller. You're
Mhm.
picked number 2 overall in the draft. You need
Yep.
to win a Super Bowl as a team, like help a team win a Super Bowl, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he's been nowhere near that. So I don't think his was as big, like his trade. I think what they got was whatever. It was Sweat was probably the one that they're going to miss the most.
Right.
But again, contract year, they're like that's the one they gave up and might have been worth keeping, but they didn't want to pay him. So
yeah,
I was surprised when they got rid of Sweat, but I mean I can understand some money's thing because they need the cap space next year for building.
They've got a lot of holes. They need a lot of stuff. And seeing as they've got the quarterback, to your point, maybe they see they've got a quarterback. Maybe they need to spend that money on the offensive line to protect this guy, and then worry about building the defense.
They still, I think their defensive line is good enough in the scheme.
Yeah,
to be okay.
It's funny you mentioned Von Miller, though, buddy. I was at dinner last night. I was watching a Football Life DeMarcus Ware, and it's amazing how much he's in the Denver Bronco years of it, because apparently, I mean, Vaughn was just. You could see DeMarcus coaching him up on the sideline.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
That was the best. That was the best sign. One of the outside of Peyton Manning. That was the best one that Elway got was DeMarcus Ware.
Yep, no doubt. Okay, so does anybody give my boy a chance to win this game? I love
Niners.
I'm
going Niners. With the Niners, it always depends on injuries, but I mean, I think the Bucks
they look healthy right now. They just got Deebo Samuel back, and it's amazing what that offense looks like when he's in it. Good Christ, man! What was it? I think he was. What was it? McCaffrey was joking. He said, "Yeah, Deebo's back, so now my streak ends." Great, thanks a lot, pal. Because he didn't score a touchdown last week. It was the first time in 17 games.
They tried really hard.
Yeah, they did, but
I ended because I picked up Dobbs.
Yep.
I ended up trading Purdy for Deebo. I got Deebo back in the lineup again. So yeah,
I took Burrows out and put in Purdy.
Yeah,
right before the Thursday night game.
Especially with Deebo back. Yeah, because he can just flick it 2 yards to him right on an outside screen, and it's gone, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Knock saw Joe Burrow getting off the bus Wednesday wearing the iPad glove or whatever. That
I actually didn't, but it just turned out that was a thing. And then I think for me it was because I was picking the Ravens. I think I thought the Ravens defense was going to hold up. And so I was like, and then I saw this game, the 49ers, the Buccaneers. I was like,
you know what? Next year, guys, we're going to have to make a fantasy section because all of you guys play it and I don't. So we're going to have to make a fantasy section to this.
Well, I keep telling myself every year I'm going to quit. And
dude, I quit the second year because I just can't watch football that way. I'm invested. I have most people, it's outside my division. I don't care. No, I look at the whole playoff picture. I have a dog in every hunt, and I want them to win. And I just can't sit there and root for a wide receiver on a team I can't stand all day long to try and get something done. And I just, I can't do it.
Yeah. I can understand watching a wide receiver on my team.
Right.
I needed Jared Judy to get
Judy, you son of a bitch!
And he wasn't even on the field most of the time during that Bills game. I was so frustrated. I was like,
I think fantasy is fine if you can set your lineup and then walk away from it all day. But you're like, oh, I got this guy that's questionable for the 3:00 game. I have to go then check that at 2:30. You like, it's a constant.
For me, I'm usually fine with fantasy throughout the day. It's when it's the last game and I have a player in.
Right, Monday night. It's
Monday
one
night
game, the
is when I
one
pay
game
attention.
that's on, and you need this guy to perform,
Right.
and he's out there fumbling. What the fuck? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one time I care during the week. Yeah.
Well,
All right,
I've been in the same league for 15 years, so I've got momentum. I'm not going to stop playing.
I hear you, brother. You guys enjoy it. I just, I'm too much. You guys have never seen me watch football. I pace in front of the TV set sometimes, like I'm a damn coach. I do. But anyway, does anybody give my boy a chance to pull this off in San Francisco? I don't. I'm pulling for him, but
No.
I just don't see it.
Yeah, if they manage to pull it off, it'd be a good win. That's for sure.
I'd love it. I'd love it. And the defense is capable of shutting them down. It is. It's not very far removed from the championship year, but
if there's one guy that I wish we didn't let go, especially with us getting rid of Von Miller, was Shaq Barrett.
Yeah,
that was our big. He was on that Super Bowl team. He was a backup to Ware and Miller. And man, I when he left, I knew, and he got that huge contract from the Bucks. Like, he was worth it.
Yep.
And then he won a Super Bowl with them, with Brady.
That's what I'm saying. They have talent on the defensive side.
Man.
It's just they've got to get it together. And I think one of the problems is that Bowles is the head coach now. He's not the defensive coordinator. And if you've ever watched Bowles, he doesn't have any input during the game. Not much at all. He sits there and just lets his people do their thing. And
he's over there playing Sudoku.
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So San Francisco, I'm pulling for the other team, but it looks like San Francisco in that one. That's the first of our 3:00 games. The next one.
Oh, we can skip this one.
No, we ain't skipping this one. No way. No way. Admiral Teague. I'm going out on that limb with you, baby. Right? I'm going with the New York fucking Jets. You know why?
Oh,
because they beat them on opening night.
You guys are crazy.
No, I am not.
This is crazy talk right now.
They are going to beat this team. and look, I don't like either one of them. But Josh Allen's going to throw 3 to 4 picks in this game. He's going to. They shouldn't not. They're going to learn today the big mistake was Ken Dorsey being fired. They should have fired the guy they gave the fucking reins of the offense to. The dude that was coaching Josh Allen. It's just so stupid to me. This is a dumb organization, and they're going to pay for it today. The Jets' defense is going to kill them.
I didn't know that Ken Dorsey threw all those picks and committed all those fumbles and had 12 men on the field for the field goal at the end.
Yeah. You weren't here when I was talking about it earlier. We talked about that game because, it was Monday night last week. And I said the same thing. You want to fire somebody? Fire the friggin' special teams coach, that sent Hamlin out there.
That cost him the game.
Oh, he's next. He's next. They put him up, so he's next. That's why he's the offensive coordinator, so that if something happens again, he's the next one on the chopping block.
Yeah, hang on one second. We got to catch up with the chat here. There's been a lot going on.
Oh, the novel that Tim has written.
Yeah, right. She is at the giant like Harvey. Listen to this. Oh man, I want the DC Confederate Cops. Would be great. Unify name. Yeah, I got you. The Commanders are the Keystone Cops at this point. Let's see. Tim says you are right. When I was in London this past March, my favorite Aussie rules football team, the North Melbourne Kangaroos. That's what that acronym is in his name, by the way. We're playing on the Saturday. We were there. We went to Dover and Canterbury on the tour. I have my phone on and I was keeping an eye on the score of the game. And he says, when the game was near the end, I was listening to it in Dover Castle in the courtyard. North won, and I did a little dance. That's right, man. You got to get into your games. Teague says the Bills are going to be destroyed very easily by the Jets. That's what I'm saying right there. Josh Allen has 2 first names. That's something that sort of bothers me. That's great. But yeah, I'm jesting. But I I am going to take the Jets in this game. Luke Wilson has, listen to Luke Wilson. No, not the actor. Zach Wilson, the quarterback, has played better. He's managing the game now. He's not making those stupid fucking throws that he's been making. And I think they're really getting it in his head that you've got a great fucking defense behind you. Don't fuck it up. And he's been playing well. If they could get some kind of running game going with this team, I think they could really have something cooking. But that's up to the coaches on that side of the ball. I love what Salah's doing with the defense. And it's Josh Allen. They're going to get picks today. I'm sorry. I'm taking the Jets in this one. Prove me wrong.
I'm going Bills.
Yeah. Okay.
Recently learned that seeing his avatar in the comments reminded me. Recently learned that kangaroos will drown dogs. So
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Your random fact of the day brought to you by Small Time Republic.
Small Time Republic, no doubt, man. The more you know.
You do that with the more you know.
Would you like to know more? Yes.
The more you know.
No, I got to tell you, this decision to get rid of Ken Dorsey, Matt, one of the stupidest ones I've ever seen. He's going to be successful. Where the next team that I wouldn't be surprised if he's head coaching next year. I mean, the guy is good.
Probably not, but he'll probably be an OC somewhere next year.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I'm watching this morning when they're commentating about it, and they're acting like they made the right move, and I'm like, did you guys even watch this game? They were getting 8 yards of the crack on the ground. And they're sitting there saying during the commentary, yeah, they need to run the ball more, the Buffalo Bills do. I'm like, Jesus, they were running like it was going out of style. What the fuck?
If it weren't for the turnovers, they would have easily won that game.
Yes, they would have easily won that game.
One of the turnovers was a handoff to the running back that didn't get completed.
Pretty sure Ken Dorsey has nothing to do with Josh Allen handing the ball off. Pretty sure he has nothing to do with that.
Here's what I'll say for this one. I'm not going to trust Zach Wilson and a team that lost to the Raiders. I simply won't do it. I'm going to go Bills. I get the things against Josh Allen. He's still way better than what the Jets have. So, and I like the Jets defense, but I don't think they're 85 Bears good. So I mean, I don't know. I think Josh Allen, and plus the Bills are going to got some little anger in this game for the Week 1 match. Yeah. So I'm going Bills on this one.
Okay. Well, this
Bills defense is not that bad either. Bills defense kept them in the game.
They are good. They did keep them in that
game.
The
Broncos starting position was like the 45.
They stopped every drive. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not trusting Zach Wilson. Yeah. Is Allen going to throw picks? Yes. But is he also going to throw some touchdowns and go right down the field in less than 2 minutes? Yes. Mm-hmm. And will Zach Wilson do that? No. I refuse to believe that.
Bills are going to give up 3 picks and 2 fumbles because their time in the sun is done.
Thank you very much. Their 15 minutes are up. Everybody's figured out Josh Allen's a moron, and they're going to play defense that way, expecting the moron to fuck it up. So unless they can coach the gunslinger out of him, they're in trouble because it's a sad state of affairs. It really is. Well, actually, it's not sad for me because I can't stand that team. So, hey.
I would almost compare Josh Allen to Michael Vick in the sense that both accomplished what they have accomplished with their bodies.
Yes.
Not their heads. Yes, not their heads. That's a fact. No doubt. Let's Admiral Teague, of course, the biggest Jets fan in our circle. He says, if I had Josh Allen's problem, I would go with JP Allen or whatever his middle name initial is. Excuse me. Robert Saleh is a fucking moron, but will win anyway. It's a fucking moron. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't be with you on that one, brother. He came up under Pete Carroll on the Seahawks staff. So sorry, man. I can't go with you on that one.
I think he was with 49ers
too.
He was the 49ers offensive coordinator. He was our linebacker
or
coach.
defensive, I think.
Yeah, he was our linebacker coach back in the day. Let's see. Remember, the officials are also there to beat the Jets. Yes, that's no doubt. The refs will fuck the Jets at every turn. If the Jets are leading at halftime, the league will hijack the feed again. It's a conspiracy. Yeah. And Tim says the logo is my ice hockey team. By the way, this is the Fairfax Kangaroos Hockey Club. Wow, man.
Oh,
cool. And then Admiral Teague says, reports Robert Saleh has a concussion have me very optimistic that will improve his judgment this week. How do you get a concussion to get knocked over?
Speaking of which, did you guys see Nick Saban's face after this during his interview?
No, what happened?
He got jacked up a little bit.
He got smoked, did he? On the sidelines?
He did, on the sideline, yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I'm standing alone on that branch, waiting for it to break.
No, I went with the Jets.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's right. You did. Okay, so we're split on that one. Okay. Next up, we've got in the 3:00 window, my beloved Tim. Seahawks. I didn't even know they were playing them today, and you mentioned earlier today that I fucking can't stand when they play. Yeah, these guys are 3-6, and they're gonna beat us today. Fuck. I'm pretty sure. No, they're not going to beat us today. I'm pretty sure Rippon's going for the Rams again, right? I don't think Stafford's back.
Brett Rippon, former Broncos?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Check that for me real quick,
back.
John, will you?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if which quarterback's going. If Stafford's going, I'd say the Rams, but if it's Rippon, my guys are going to win. That's my whole take on this. I like what we're doing this year, but we're as much as the defense flies around and they're really good at tackling, really good at hitting people, they give up yards between the 20s like it's nobody's fucking business. I don't really
Matthew Stafford is set to start for the Seahawks. Versus the Seahawks.
What perfect timing.
What perfect fucking timing.
He couldn't be out one more. Just shut him down for the season, right? Just like, why is he even playing?
Seahawks lose today. Year. Go ahead. You can talk about this all you want, guys.
I'll go Rams.
The Rams have our number. That's just all there is to it. Don't look at the record, folks. All right. I'm telling you, the Rams have our number.
I'm still going to go with the Seahawks. I know I'm going to regret it, but I'm still going to go with Seahawks.
Oh my God, man!
This is the time to break the curse.
The problem with picking the Rams is, Stafford's back, but how healthy is that thumb of his? I mean, how's his grip going to be?
Yeah. All I know is Stafford's a gamer. He's gonna, dude.
He's gonna ball.
He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks that's ever played the game. One of the toughest. I'll tell you that. That's a tough dude. Every time I see him, I see Steve DeBerg, one of the toughest dudes on a football field I've ever seen. Hell, didn't he play for the Chiefs in a playoff game with a cast on his fucking hand?
Yep, he sure did.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, just tough. These guys are tough. But anyway, yeah. I think it's Rams. So, you guys all going Seahawks, but Matt's going Rams too, aren't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to regret it, but I'm going Seahawks. I'm going to go Seahawks, but I'm going to regret it.
Yeah. Of course, you guys know who I'm pulling for. I got the head on right here.
Yeah.
But
and currently the Georgia Bulldogs tear everyone up. So.
Hey, man, it's like I said.
28 games in a row.
Damn show, bro. And if you don't know it,
he's never going to stop.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's right. That's it. Right there, boy. Yep. Okay. So we're split on this one. Next one, we got not many afternoon games. We're on to the Monday night game. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Denver Broncos. I get to watch Dangerous Wilson in prime time again. Yes.
3 weeks in a row. I miss my sleep. I hate these. I hate these evening games now. It sucks.
I'm sorry.
But gonna have to try to stay up as late as I can for this one. I'll probably be late for work tomorrow. But
this can be a good game. This can be a good game. Denver has one of those unique home field advantages.
Ban him right now.
Huh? I'm sorry.
Ban him.
Ban him? What is? Dear Jesus!
Ban him.
What did he
He's
say?
starting. He's starting things.
He's starting things. Let's see. Finally, some sanity on this panel. The Jets will continue to be an unbeaten streak. The Chargers suck and will lose, and Broncos suck and will lose. Well,
lucky I'm not a mod.
I've got to tell you, Teague, they don't suck. They're not great, but they don't suck. Their strength is on defense, if you ask me. Their quarterback is decent, and he's always been decent. I mean, he's actually better throwing at deep balls if they could. If they could,
I don't know what happened with Bims. They don't throw. They just don't throw it.
They don't throw it deep, and I don't.
We want to run the ball now more than we want to run for 200 yards, and that is the one goal.
I think he's a little shell shocked from the last season and half of this season. I think he's a little shell shocked because I see guys running wide open sometimes deep, and he doesn't throw it. And I don't.
He just doesn't.
I don't know if he doesn't see it or what, but he is. Peyton is putting guys in position to be open deep. He is. I'm seeing it out there. It's not every play. But when it does happen, he's not seeing it.
I think the most frustrating thing is that there's times where it's like, Russ, just throw the fucking ball, dude.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
Yeah, if it's 4th and 3 and you're running out of the pocket, just throw the fucking ball. If you just run out of bounds on 4th and 3, he did that. He ran out of bounds on 4th and 3 and didn't get the line to gain. Just throw it. You're literally going to throw the ball. What's the word? A pick six, really? Like, I mean, I guess that could happen, but at least give your guys a chance. Sutton is a tall guy.
Don't lose the yards. It's your job not to get that loss.
If it gets picked off, it's most likely going to be like a punt. Just he does not give the wide receivers a chance ever.
Yeah.
We never get 50-50 balls because he doesn't throw for the 50-50 balls.
That touchdown pass to Sutton though. That was a beautiful fucking thing on Sutton's part, keeping his feet in fucking bounds.
Oh yeah, he threw it in a place where no one else can get it.
Nobody else could get it, and Sutton, to his credit, wow, what a fucking play! That was awesome. That was like watching old Seahawks shit. He used to do that all the time. But
it was a risky throw. He threw it. That was the thing. He didn't take the sack right there.
That's it.
He threw the damn ball,
and he was running around at the time, and he threw it. Yeah. The other thing you got to remember about this game, it's going to be fun to watch. Dobbs does nothing but play fucking football. He plays. Yeah,
you get that. Well. Where's the sound bit? All I do is win, win, win.
Right. That's it.
That's Dobbs right now. That's his theme song when he walks out of the field. They play that song.
It should be Traveling Man.
Right, Traveling Man. He is the modern day fucking Fitzmagic, right? Yep. He's on a mission to play for every fucking NFL team there is
and win a game with them.
And actually, there's a couple of old songs named Traveling Man. So either one of them, the Bob
Rocket
Seger
Man.
One,
you
or
could use Rocket Man too, because he is a rocket scientist.
Yeah,
so.
He is. he's either going to go to Mars or the Super Bowl.
But
and I don't know which one first.
Somebody needs to buy this guy some eyebrows, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Or have him tattooed on or something.
He does have alopecia. So
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
As far as a winner for this game, I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they keep the winning streak going. That's what I think.
I'll go Broncos.
Yeah, I think because look, the elevation. This is the thing. The elevation is a thing in Denver. That is a definite advantage for that team, and the Vikings only play there every 3 years. So I think it's going to be. It's always something for a team that doesn't play there on a regular basis to deal with. They're not used to it. And I think they're going to continue. I think they're going to keep building on what's working. And look, one thing you Denver fans cannot be upset with, that's the coaching that's going on in Denver. You got the right coach. That guy still sees the field like nobody else. He's making all the right play calls. And dude, just so impressive, the special teams play of the Denver Broncos last weekend. They got a field goal, hustling the fucking field goal team on late
really
in the first
good at
half.
That's not the first time this season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Really he leaves no stone unturned on how to get things done. And I applaud him for hiring him, man. I just don't think Russ is going to be the trigger man when they do break through and start winning games.
And obviously Sean Payton must like this kicker because he brought him with him.
Yeah.
Trust them.
Absolutely. Go ahead, John.
As much as I want to go with the Vikings and Dobbs, it's the Broncos' defense that has to be worried.
That's it. Yeah, they're playing good.
Their defense is playing
well.
really
The run defense, especially.
Yeah. So, and then you add in this is Dobbs' first time at elevation.
Yep.
He doesn't know. You don't know how he's going to handle it. Is he He's probably going to overthrow everything at the first.
Reality might hit in a little bit for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Not a great team.
But
a good team, not a great team.
It is the Broncos, so I'm going for Minnesota.
Okay. Teague says the altitude in Denver makes for poor play all around, and it always a nauseating experience to watch the game play there. No, it's not. Shush up, you. Q, don't the Jets need to explain to their fans what they at least called Tom Brady? Woody Johnson's an idiot. Okay, whatever. Minnesota, Denver, as much fun as kissing your Kirk Cousins. Damn,
that was bad.
I saw a report today that the Jets are going to try to acquire Devontae Adams again this offseason.
Oh my God, no!
With the elevation thing, I've never really thought about before. I guess if I was coaching a team, I maybe would travel there a day early.
Yeah, just to get acclimated.
Yeah,
have them not necessarily do sprints, but have them doing some some stair climbing or something just to see what it's like to get winded there. Yeah. Okay, Monday night we got a rematch of the friggin' Super Bowl, boys and girls. In Kansas City, in Arrowhead, they are hosting it.
Two best teams in the NFL going head to head.
Yeah, two teams atop their conferences doing it up, man. Wow.
Yeah, the Chiefs had the best bye week you could possibly ever have.
Right.
And they win even when they're not playing. It's crazy.
The rich get richer? Is that what you're trying to say, Knock? Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. There's just something about Arrowhead, man. It's hard to go in there and win. It's one of those like Denver, like Seattle. It's hard to go in there and win ball games. God, that's a hard game to pick because both of them are playing really good. I got to go with the Chiefs, though. I got to go with the Chiefs in this one. We've said it all year. The Eagles have not put together 4 quarters of football in a game yet this year. They've looked inept sometimes on the offensive side of the ball. And if that continues, the Chiefs will jump on it. I don't think enough people are talking about how opportunistic their defense is.
Oh, yeah.
They get turnovers. The Miami game is what springs to mind to me. That was a close game, but it was won by the defense. Miami's defense stopped Mahomes and those guys for 2 touchdowns. That's all they scored. And if the offense could have done something, they couldn't. The Chiefs were all over them. You could tell during the game. When a Miami Dolphin touched the ball, they got lit the fuck up. They were playing a much more physical brand of football, and it showed. It just did, Well,
and whether you're talking about the Eagles or the Chiefs, good teams find different ways to win depending on the game.
That's it. Absolutely.
They don't always get, not everything fires on all cylinders every week.
No.
And quietly, we've got we've got Karlaftis, who's having one of the best games at getting to the quarterback. Then he may not be getting the sack, but he's got the most pressures. He's there in their face.
Don't give that team a pass rusher, man. Shit. Because I think that's the one thing you don't have. I don't see anybody really lighting it up when it comes to pass rush.
They're double teaming. They're double teaming Chris Jones all the time.
Of course.
They don't. And that granted that lets Karlaftis get through a lot, but you ought to start paying attention to Karlaftis too, because he is getting through there. He's just almost to the point where he's going to step up to that next level. And I think we'll have the pass rusher we need in Karlaftis.
Yeah. All I know is it may have been when in like a 3-year period, Mississippi State had Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, and Montez Sweat. So I don't know what they were doing recruiting wise, but it was working.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, I would definitely. I'm definitely leaning more towards the Chiefs on this one, mainly because one, we already mentioned it's stadium, but they also are coming off a bye week. So
Yeah.
they're it's a
Andy
long
Reid
bye
with a
week,
bye
too.
week. I'd love to see that
Yeah,
record.
that's it right there. Andy Reid after a bye week.
It's got to be bizarre.
It's got to be. There's a stat out there
It's
somewhere.
ridiculously
We'll see it,
high.
Well,
So,
I'm gonna pick the Chiefs, but I hate to reveal my source. I've got some insider information. Charissa Thompson has told me that Andy Reid said they had a really good week this week. So, based on her expert analysis, I'm going to
now in your analysis, Matt, did they tell you whether or not Taylor was going to be there?
Actually, Taylor will. That's what I was gonna say. This the one question mark is how well Kelsey's going to do because Taylor won't actually be there.
She won't however,
however,
she's not going to be at the game. God damn it!
They had to push back one of her concerts because of some reason. So she's actually in concert
or something like that
tonight. Yeah, it's just temperatures. Now, the thing is, she may not be there, but her parents are, and it's the first time that Kelsey's
parents are meeting his parents.
This is an introduction to the parents. Oh man, that's a good point. That's a good point. I do like that point.
So
I mean,
Kelsey's
he has met her dad already.
Shine.
The dad was there at the concert with them, so
like
I cannot believe this is part of the analysis. What the fuck? Get your head in the game, fools.
This is part of the game, Joe. Accept it.
The reality of football.
I can't wait till playoff season.
Taylor Swift impact. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. What's up,
Joe? Like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives.
Absolutely, no doubt.
One small fantasy plug here. In my money league, I actually have one player playing in this game, and my opponent will have one player playing this game. It'll be Patrick Mahomes, who I have, versus Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
I've got Pat, so I put
that'll be a fun one. That's my
my Chiefs
I
put my Chiefs like my first picks always. So
wow.
I
got Mahomes in the second round. I was like, dude, there's no way I can pass that.
I wanted him on the first. I was like, he was my number one.
No, I got him in the second round.
And Joe, since we're about to kick off, I can give you my I guess 4 or 5 earlier picks if you need them.
Nah, that's okay. I will just put them in the
I'll send it to you in the chat real quick.
Just do that. Check it out, man. We want to touch on these before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is upon us, boys and girls.
Ooh.
And our full slate of games on Thursday. Of course, the Lions always started off. They're playing their nemesis, the Packers. Of course, we're not going to pick these games. We're just going to talk about them. On paper, Detroit should destroy this team.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've got the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Washington Commandos. Now, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you should be scared by this game. I don't care how good the Washington Redskins are. I don't care how good, how bad the Redskins are, the Commanders, whatever the fuck they're called, and how good the Cowboys are. I'll just remind you of this. Troy Aikman's first year in the league, he won only one game, and it was against Washington. They went 1-15 his first year. This game right here, there's no telling who will win it. The lesser team usually treats it like their Super Bowl. This is one of the greatest rivalries in NFL history. Of course, it used to be the Cowboys and Indians. Now it's the Commanders and the Cowboys, but it's still the same two franchises. I don't care what anybody says. Don't sleep on this game. It's going to be fun to watch. Some crazy shit's going to happen during it. That's for sure. And then the last one, I can't believe my boys are playing San Francisco in Seattle Thanksgiving night. Wow, and I'm actually going to see him I'm actually going to, and I get to see it. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And that's a throw out the records game, man. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch up in Seattle. Let me tell you.
It's going to be a rough one, too, because they're both playing in the evening today. So it's going to be a short week for both.
And if we both win today, man, dude, that's going to be for a lot of shit right there. It really is. Because we're only, I think we're right even with them record wise. I'd have to look at it real quick, but
both 6-3, I believe.
Yeah. So That's a big game, but and I'm hoping we both win today, so that will be an even bigger game. I'm really looking forward to it. But
Seahawks
we
have
also have
man advantage.
Yes, we do.
So
yes, we do. That's what's so great about it. And then we have our first Black Friday NFL game. It's going to be at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. The Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. And that'll be a lot of fun to watch.
It's
too.
Miami.
Wow, look at that. That's a little too.
That's if Tua survives today.
That's true. If Tua goes down,
you said it earlier. This is the longest he's lasted
in
an entire season, right? So we'll see what happens, man. But let's see what they're talking about over here. Tim says Travis Kelce is overexposed and super annoying, but he can play. Guys, before it's said and done, he may be the greatest tight end that ever plays the game. I mean, the guy is really good.
He's just the greatest tight end that's playing now, and and I agree with Joe. When he retires,
when it's said and done, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer.
He plays tight end with a quarterback's mind.
Yep.
He knows where to find holes in the defense.
And a basketball player's body.
And a basketball player's body. It's ridiculous, man. The guy gets open every fucking play.
Well, and he does the little things like shielding his body when a defender's coming in order to increase the odds of him catching the ball. You know, little things like that. You can't coach.
You can't coach him. That's for sure. Yeah. DC versus Dallas. Whoever wants it less will lose. No doubt. Sometimes that matchup is who wants it less. They'll start fucking up so bad. You know what I mean? Let's see. Prediction. DC, Green Bay, and San Francisco, all winners. I hope you're absolutely fucking wrong, homeboy. Let's see. I foresee Detroit, Dallas, and Seattle, all losers this week.
I'm agreeing with Knock here. I'm thinking it's about time to kick him.
Yeah, right? He's just trolling us at this point. Again,
I think he's just
another very easy and powerful win for the Jets over the contemptible Dolphins. You better hope Tua gets knocked out today, pal. That's all I got to tell you. Squish the fish. I understand. I'm a New England fan. I used to say the same thing until I married a Dolphins fan. NFL Hall of Fame is second to the Stand-Up Comics Hall of Fame in Legitimacy Hall of Achievement. Oh, God, shut up, asshole. Yep. And my wife will have the final word in the chat today. Dolphins will win Black Friday. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for being here. It's always good to see my buds and talk a little football before the day's games. I'm going to run through my schedule real quick before we get out of here and let you know what's going on with it as soon as I can find it. Let's see. Well, you know, when you're producing, sometimes you get lost. You're watching the Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving week pregame party. We do this every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Tune in next week for more of the same. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time, it's Military Monday, morning coffee with Gary. And they're doing the Thin Red Line. So check that out. 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. All these times are Central. It's going to be It's Only Talk and Roll on That 70s Rock Fans channel. We're going to talk about all the new stuff coming out. All the stuff we're looking forward to. Reacher, Season 2, Napoleon, Godzilla -1, and Silent Night, and so much more, man. We're going to be talking about all that tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time on That 70s Rock Fans channel. And Tuesday night, I will be playing DCUO on Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails at 10 p.m. Central Time. Wednesday morning, more Cyberpunk with John on Morning Coffee with John on Pop Culture Minefields channel at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then Wednesday,
the end.
Yeah, he is getting close to the end of that. Thank God, man. That's tripping. State of the Atmosphere is going to be all about the things we're thankful for this week. So make your list of things you're thankful for, whether it be pop culture, your family, your car, whatever it is, man. Whatever you want to talk about, we're going to talk about what we're thankful for the day before Thanksgiving at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. There will be no Brothers Hack the Matrix this week because it is Thanksgiving, but I will have a special Thanksgiving show of Papa Joe Gamer After Dark playing some Red Dead Redemption 2. Might dress up as a pilgrim, go shoot some turkeys. Who knows? Video games, cocktails, and fails. Thanksgiving night at 10 p.m. Central Time. And then Friday morning, you can watch the third act of Baldur's Gate 3 with John, Morning Coffee with John on Pop Culture Minefields channel. Then Sketching the Privateer will be back on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Watch me create my comic book. I couldn't do it yesterday because we were so damn busy, man. We had a great show yesterday. A lot of people came out yesterday. Very cool. Usually I walk through and show you the vendors. I didn't have time. I was too busy talking up my commissions and other stuff like that. So
that's a good
thing. Any last words about this week in football before we get out of here and enjoy our games?
It's
my team lost to New Mexico State by 3 touchdowns. So
I did mention that,
said
Matt.
It, and he
I
mentioned you.
apologize,
He said he felt bad. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They paid him a lot of money to lose, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. How much is it again? They paid?
I think I heard like
1.7
million.
1.7. God, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Anything else before we get out of here, guys? No.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, huh? Go Hawks. That's what I'm saying. 12th man is in the house, even though I'm wearing number 11. This is my Bledsoe jersey. I love it, dude. Yeah. His uniform is one of my favorites. Okay, so that is it for this week, boys and girls. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.